Hello and welcome back to Advent of Cyber. This is day 22, C2 detection, command and carol. The TBFC is very wary since the last series of attacks by the underlings of King Malware. They are on full alert for anything happening, but they are getting restless. It's too quiet. Sir Elfo and the TBFC takes the initiative and proposes to hunt for command and control traffic using the meticulously collected network traffic. A majority of the TBFC elves object. We don't have the time to go through so much network traffic. Sir Elfo chuckles. Don't fret, for I have a powerful tool to assist us. I present to you Rita, Real Intelligence Threat Analytics. We just need to convert our PCAP file to Zeek logs, and Rita will do the rest. Anyone can do it. Just follow today's task. So today's learning objectives are going to be convert PCAP to Zeek logs, using Rita to analyze Zeek logs, and analyzing the output of Rita. So the magic of Rita. Real Intelligence Threat Analytics is an open source framework created by the Active Countermeasures. Its core functionality is to detect command and control communication by analyzing network traffic, captures, and logs. Its primary features are C2 beacon detection, DNS tunneling detection, log connection detection, data exfiltration detection, checking threat intel feeds, score connections by severity, show the number of hosts communicating with a specific external IP, and showing the date and time when the external host was first seen on the network. The magic behind Rita is its analytics. It correlates with the capture fields, including IP addresses, ports, timestamps, and connection durations, among others. Based on the normalized and correlated dataset, Rita runs several analysis modules collecting information like periodic connection intervals, excessive number of DNS queries, long FQDNs, random subdomains, volume of data over time over HTTPS, DNS, or non-standard ports, self-signed or short-lived certificates, and known malicious IPs by cross-referencing with public threat intel feeds or block lists. Rita accepts network traffic as Zeek logs. Zeek is an open-source network security monitoring tool. Zeek is not a firewall or IPS. It does not use signatures or specific rules to take an action. It simply observes the network traffic via configured span ports used to copy traffic from one port to another for monitoring, physical network taps, or imported packet captures in the PCAP format. Zeek then analyzes and converts this input into a structured, enriched output. This output can be used in incident detection and response, as well as threat hunting. Out of the box, Zeek covers 2 of the 4 types of NSM data, transaction. Didn't try to do that. Out of the box, Zeek covers 2 of the 4 types of NSN data, transaction data, summarized records of application layer transactions, and extracted content data. Alright, so let's get started. A neat feature of Zeek is that it can convert packet captures into structured logs. If you haven't done so, open the VM and start a terminal. Navigate to the home directory of the logged in user and list its contents. As shown in the terminal below, we can see 2 directories named PCAPs and Zeek logs. So let's go ahead and go to terminal. And let's do ls, and we can see the folder here for PCAPs, and we can see the Zeek logs folder here. So let's go back over here. It says the PCAPs directory contains example PCAPs of real life incidents collected from Bradley Duncan's blog. He's a wonderful collection of malware related PCAPs that cover real world threats. The Zeek logs directory contains Zeek logs. These were created by parsing a PCAP file. Let's parse a PCAP ourselves and look at the output Zeek logs. We will use the Zeek command. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead, see PCAPs, Zeek, read PCAP, and then the output would be, Zeek logs. Yeah, I spelled that wrong. I'm such a scared. Cannot create directory, permission denied. Okay, let's just leave it in this directory. So we just saved it into this directory here. Alright, so it says let's examine the logs created, navigate to the directory and list its contents. We've already done that. The output should be similar to the one shown on the terminal below. So we do see some of the same log files. In the terminal above, we can see different Zeek logs that were generated. For using Rita, we don't really need to know what's in these logs. However, if you're interested, you can use cat to examine their contents. So let's just take a look at one of them. Let's look at weird. But yeah, this is what the log will look like. There's too many fields here, but it will look something like this. So now analyze this Rita. Now that we've prepared the Zeek logs, we can import them into Rita and unleash its analytics. Enter the command below to import the Zeek logs and let Rita do its work. Once you enter the command, Rita will parse and analyze the imported logs. As seen in the terminal, a lot of output is produced. So we're going to do this Rita command. Let's go ahead and clear. And we're going to get out of this directory. And we're going to do Rita import logs database. That's some crap. Oh my god, I spelled it wrong again. And I spelled clear wrong. Fat Finger King. Alright, so now that we ran that, we can see that command going. And it's basically analyzing that, and we're going to see the output coming in. Okay, so now we can do Rita view. And now we can see a little bit more data here. So after entering a command, we can see a structured terminal window with the results shown as in the image below. So we can now see that same screen. We can see rabbithole.malware.net. We can see a C2. So to search, we need to enter a /. We can then enter our own search term to narrow down the results. The search utility supports the use of search fields. When we enter question mark in search mode, we can see an overview of the search fields alongside some examples. The image below shows help for the search utility. To exit the help page, enter question mark again. Hit the escape key to exit the search functionality. So the results pane includes information for each entry that can quickly help us recognize potential threats. The following columns are included: severity, source and destination, beacon, duration, subdomains, and threat intel. We can see two interesting findings: FQDN pointing to Sunshine. Okay, so they have a different IP there. I guess that's just an example. So the details ping. The details pane, apart from source and destination, we have two information categories: threat modifiers and connection info. Let's have a closer look at these categories. So we have MIME type, we have rare signature, we have prevalence, we have first seen, missing host header, large amounts of outgoing data, and no direct connections. Now that we've covered and seen the field of Rita, focus on results displayed. Most of the time the results are displayed warrant some attention. Even if the entry does not have a high severity score, it can still be an indicator of compromise. We're using a smaller data set, and this has some downsides. For example, the first seen threat modifier is relatively low due to small time frame packets being captured. This can affect the severity score. So we're done with the example. We see what's going on. We kind of get the gist of what's going on. So let's go down to the questions now. So it says each will do its part. Now that everyone is going through the manual, let's hunt those mail rabbits down. We've put a lot of effort into capturing network traffic. Please analyze the Rita challenge PCAP with Rita and answer the questions below. It says you to learn steps to process the PCAP and analyze it with Rita. So we already did the Rita challenge file, which is why we saw the malware.net instead of this sunbiz or sunshine biz rate. So we were already there. So it says how many hosts are communicating with malware.net. Let's see. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. The answer is 6. So it says which threat modifiers tells us the number of hosts communicating to a certain destination. Let's see. Destination. It's actually not going to be destination. So let's look over here. We see prevalence 6 out of 10. First seen, connection count. So let's see, it'll be prevalence. There we go. What is the highest number of connections to this? So it'll be 31. Okay, so maybe we need to check the other ones. That one's 31. Let's check the next. Okay, so this one's 40, 38, 29, 21. So it's going to be 40 actually. Okay. Okay, so now which search filter would you use to search for all entries that communicate to rabbithole.malware.net with a beacon score greater than 70 and sorted by connection duration, descending? So that is a good question. Okay, so let's skip that one for now. I think we can answer the last one, and then we'll need to go back up to get the proper format for that search query. So it says, which port did host 10.13 use to connect? So let's see. It actually doesn't say a port. Unless I need to zoom out a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Now we can see it, port 80. All right, so now we need to go back to this last question here to find out which string we need to use for this specific search term. So let's go back up. And we need to search for that specific destination with the beacon score. Let's see. Let's see, so we need to search by destination. Destination. So we would have destination. So we need to do beacon. So it'd be beacon greater sign equals 70 and sorted by connection duration descending. So it'd be sort dash DESC. All right, let's see if we can one shot it. And if we typed in this query correct, if not, I'm gonna be pissed, but here we go. And we are done. If you enjoyed watching, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. If you click in the top left, you can see I've done the whole Advent of Cyber event I have every day up until now in the playlist that you see on the screen now. And I'll continue off until we get to Christmas. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next box.